Wow, you all always mention, and like when I'm reading a biography of Sam Cooke and Bobby Womack and all these people, the Supremes are always mentioned in the conversation, because you all just historic and legendary.
Well, you know what I think it was? We came along at a time when, black history was being really made. And there were lots of pioneers before us. I mean, we mentioned earlier in our other interviews about the Sammy Davises, the Billy Ecksteins, and, all these great Sarah Vaughan's, all these great people. I think what happened with the Supremes is that we were at the door when the door was being opened to everyone, especially to black people. So a lot of times people didn't see a lot of our great black entertainers because they couldn't be on TV like we were, So at Sullivan's show, we were on there every single Sunday, and everybody was watching. I remember this white lady came to me. She says, whenever you Supremes on TV, I let my family watch you. And my brother was a Black Panther at the time. He said, what? What does she mean? She let her family? But it was at a time when
it was an event, wasn't it?
But it was at a time when people were not liking black people. Black wasn't beautiful yet, So we were just at that door when it kind of changed.
Wow. Because as it was said, if you go to YouTube and you see back in those days, black people on TV, like the Merv Griffin show and the Ed Sullivan show. It's an event. It was an event.
Sure.
It was a major. And you were mentioning Jackie Wilson earlier.
Yeah.
I saw a video with him and Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was singing and everything, and then Jackie Wilson came out, and he was singing and stuff. Black and white, but it was an event. It was absolutely crazy. So you're singing and giving us a treat tonight. Is that correct?
No, I'm not singing.
You're not singing?
No, I'm just signing. I have a new dance record out called Time to Move On. And I have my books here, so I'll be signing books and CDs and vinyl. I have a red vinyl.
Vinyl, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But Frida Payne will be singing, and also Linda Clifford.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend. Sorry, Linda. Will be singing as well, and so they'll give you guys a good show.
Now your book. What can we expect if I pick up a copy of your book? What is your autobiography?
My book is called Dream Girl: My Life Stays Supreme, and it was a bestseller, New York bestseller list for years, and it's actually about the Supremes. I kept diaries when I was traveling all over the world in the 60s, so I was able to actually write my book. I remember one of my teachers, Mr. Boone, in Northeastern High School in Detroit, said to me one day, "You should become a writer and stop running down to that Motown Records." Then after we became famous, he says, "I'm so happy that you didn't listen to me."
Really? So now, what are you doing these days, Ms. Wilson? Are you traveling around autographing your book? Are you doing some, concerts here and there?
Lots of things. The one thing about the entertainment business is that it helps you to branch out into different areas. And so I've been able to, as you just mentioned, write books. I'm studying acting. I've been off Broadway many, many times. I tour all over the world. I do big tours, little tours. I just did Wembley Arena in London with.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, and so I just did Wembley Arena in London with Dionne Warwick and Roberta Flack. It was amazing.
Wow.
So it's called Living Legends Tour. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm alive.
Wait. Now, Ms. Wilson, the funny thing about it is that, in Chicago, about a year and a half ago, I started off my TV show honoring legends of the music industry. That's what brought me out here to LA. From starting off having Jerry Butler on the show.
I love Jerry, yeah.
Then I had Gene Chandler on the show.
Gene too. We toured with all of them.
Then I had the Impressions on the show. And then I had Stevie Wonder.
Oh, good.
And then I had Jerry Bell and the Daz Band. It just went on. And now we're having the legendary Mary Wilson. I know you don't see yourself that way in a lot of ways, but It's just wonderful having you on the show because I'm trying to get everybody as I can that's still alive and that's looking as beautiful as you to be able to be on the Sherard show. Just to give you your flowers.
I feel very appreciative. Thank you.
We thank you because, I'll say this last thing and I'll let you get ready so you can do your signing. But, one thing that's amazing is the fact that your music, it just lasts. It just has all that substance that keeps it going. It's just amazing. The Smokey Robinsons. Every time you hear the Supremes, my little daughter hear it, she just, just going. She's only 3 years old. She's just going, don't know the words, but she's just jamming. That music is just phenomenal. So I want to thank you, Miss Mary Wilson, for doing that.
Thank you. And you mentioned the music, that's Motown Records. I'm very happy to have been a part of that. And of course, without them, we wouldn't be who we are today. So, yes.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Mary Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sherard Show. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, having a wonderful, wonderful time this evening, honoring the legends of the music industry. We just had Mrs. Mary Wilson on the Sherard Show, talking about her illustrious career that spans more than 50 years. And one thing that's very unique about her, she's one of the original Supremes, not one of the add-ons, not one that came along later, but the original Supreme. So I'm just so honored to have had her on the Sherard Show. But one thing also that's very special this evening, we have also the record label. Her record label, one of the executives have stopped by the Sherard Show today. He's dropped by a very beautiful gift. Let's get a close shot of this. This is a beautiful Miss Mary Wilson close up, and it's called the Sweet Feet Music. This is Sweet Feet Music is the record label, and he stopped by to kind of talk about what he does, how long he's been doing it, as well as working with the lovely Miss Mary Wilson. Welcome to the Sherard Show. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Paul, thanks for stopping by. Now tell us, just jump right into it, Paul. How were you able to sign such a legend to your record label?
Well, it was a natural progression. We started the video almost 3 years ago, and it kind of was up and down, and then we just took it on, and Mary asked us if we would take the project, and we hit Billboard number 37 today. So it's just been a natural progression, and very, very honored to have her on our label.
Now, this man is so relaxed and so just calm. I guess you live a stress-free life, even on a stressful night like tonight, huh?
No, it's very stressful. You just gotta look cool on the outside.
Now, tell us a little bit about what Sweet Feet Music is all about. What's the inspiration behind Sweet Feet?
Well, my name, Sweet Feet Music, is about music that's keeping you sweet and dancing. And my inspiration is just being happy and getting to live your dreams. That's what my music is about. My first single was with Jeannie Tracy and Pepper Mache. We did a cover of The Color Purple's Maybe God's Trying to Tell You Something. And because of that, I was honored to be a guest at the Color Purple 25-year reunion show because of that. And I'm also proud to say that I'm one of Oprah's 200 men. And because of her gift and just helping me heal, I'm able to do my music. So
you're awesome, man. You really are. You're awesome. You're a walking blessing. So now, being a record executive, are you always just signing legends on, or just other artists as well?
Well, to me, they're legends. My next single's with Shelley Harland of Delirium. So, and she has quite an infamous reputation in the dance community, which is going to be a total different feel than this house record with Mary. So most of the artists I like to sign, I want to see that they're established and that they're not just looking to be a star, but they're looking to share their voice and their music.
That's pretty awesome, Paul. Mm-hmm. Paul, I'm looking to bring back the doo-wop. Are you going to help me bring the doo-wop back?
Oh yeah, it just needs a remix.
Well, Paul, I know you have a busy night. Thanks for stopping by the Sherard Show. Where can someone become a fan of Mary Wilson as well as a fan of Sweet Feet Music?
We're on Facebook, so you can find Mary Wilson at marywilson.com with all the links to Sweet Feet Music, her social media, and my social media as well.
Paul, thanks for stopping by the show.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for having us come out on this wonderful night. When we come back, we're going to have the legendary Miss Frida Payne right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, here at the Amoeba Music, the music store here in West Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful, wonderful time. Some of the greatest performances and wonderful legends stopped by the Sherard Show. We had an interview with Miss Mary Wilson of the Supremes, the original founding member of the Supremes. We also had the wonderful, wonderful Miss Linda Clifford. And then we have my dear friend here, the hit maker herself, the legendary Miss Frida Payne. Welcome to the Sherard Show, man. How are
Thank you,
Frida?
Sherard. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You're looking ravishing and stunning as usual. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I mean, we've had a great evening. Linda Clifford, Mary Wilson. We got up and did our thing. Linda did a couple of performances. She did Runaway Love, and If They Could See Me Now, disco style. And of course, that Runaway Love was one of my favorites.
Mine too.
Yeah. And then I did my thing. You know, I did Bring the Boys Home and Band of Gold, and then I did a song from my new CD. So.
And that new
good.
CD is a jazzy, beautiful sounding CD. That just takes you there. That takes you like back to the 40s and the 50s when you're just in a jazz club or a cotton club. You really just rocked it on that one.
Well, you know, some of the songs were standards, and some were brand new. So it was basically showing my jazz artistry, because I have jazz chops. That's where I really live. You know, I love my R&B, you know, everything, but it's just that, you know, I do other things. I'm not just, let's say, I just don't specialize in one genre of music. I'm a jazz singer, I'm a pop singer, I'm an R&B singer.
And you make it sound and look so good, and it's so wonderful. Now, you know, I'm going to tell you something that's pretty funny, Frida. You know, when I'm putting my daughter to bed, she absolutely loves that song, Bring the Boys Home.
You're kidding!
My 3-year-old absolutely loves that song. She gets to dancing and singing it and all that stuff. That's just how touching that song is. That song was and is. That's a resounding song. Did you enjoy recording that song?
Yes, I did, and I'm amazed that a 3-year-old would be crazy about it. She probably doesn't even understand what it means. All she knows is the boys, bring the boys home.
But it's such a pretty song.
Oh, it is. It's a meaningful song, and of course, you know, when we did it back in 1971, it had a strong reference to, without mentioning the Vietnam War, but it was really written in sympathy for all the wars. You know, the World War II, the Korean War, you know, all the other wars that proceeded after that.
It was so powerful, so powerful. But you know, that was the era where songs, you were singing about a generation, you were singing to an era. You know, as a matter of fact, if a guy was too shy to talk to a girl, he would just put on some Temptations and just let it play, and she'll get what was on his heart. Is that right?
Well, partially, yeah. You might say that. A lot of people said about a lot of R&B groups and pop singers, some of the romantic songs that they perform, a lot of people have said babies were made on those songs.
They were. As a matter of fact, some in the background wouldn't have been here if it hadn't been for the Four Tops, the Smokey Robinsons, and so on and so forth. Huh?
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right, especially those romantic songs. Oh, yes.
You know, and it's funny because they're so timeless. Now, you know, you sing the Band of Gold, that's not a necessarily romantic song. That's just a song that gets you moving and just really gets you stumping. Even if you're in a bad mood, you want to just dance to that song.
Well, I'm finding, let's say, what is this, 40-something years later, we recorded that and it was released and became a hit in the summer of 1970. And I find people, over in the UK, they play that song at weddings. And I've even been asked and requested to sing that song at a couple of memorial services.
Really?
Honest to God, I didn't get it, but I said, okay, they want me to sing Band of Gold. It's okay with me, but you know, Band of Gold is about a problem with the bride. A lot of people would like to believe that it was a problem with the groom, a sexual or a psychological problem, maybe a little bit of both, and it was about frigidity on the side of the girl, of the young lady. And when I heard the song, I loved the track was jamming, but when I read the lyric and I said, but that night on our honeymoon, we stayed in separate rooms, I said, this song is not for me, I'm an adult. I said, this song is for some 15 or 16-year-old. I'm not singing this dumbass song. And so Ron Dunbar, who was, his name is listed on the credit for having one of the writers on the song, and he said, well, you don't have to like it, just sing it. I said, okay. I'm so glad I did.
And there it was. It's still a hit some 45 years later, still jamming on Band of Gold. figure that out. So now, my question to you though, Frida, is how is it after all these years with all of these different artists coming and going, people don't even know who they are, but they hear the music, you seem to still stay relevant all these years in 2015. What's your secret?
Well, just like I said before, I do more than one thing. First of all, I'm not just a recording artist. I'm also an actress.
You can see her on the clumps, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I do theater, legit theater. I've done Broadway. I've done show a lot of musicals. I did Duke Ellington's Sophisticated Ladies. I did 8 companies. I did 8 companies of The Blues in the Night, which was helmed by and directed by Sheldon Epps, who is now the artistic director of the Pasadena Playhouse. And then I did Jelly's Last Jam, the first and the only national company. And that was with Savion Glover and Maurice Hines. And then I've done Ain't Misbehavin'. I think everybody's done Ain't Misbehavin'. I did that with Della Reese, Linda Hopkins, Lonnie McNeil, yeah.
So it's safe to say you're still very, very busy.
Yeah, I'm very busy. And I'm still singing. And then, of course, I started several years ago after the passing of the great Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald, one of the greatest jazz singers of our time. I started doing a tribute to her, and then I actually played her acting-wise in theater. And I've done that play twice, and it's called Ella Fitzgerald, First Lady of Song. And then I still do, in concert, I do a one-woman concert, a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald. I do that as well. Matter of fact, I just did it last weekend in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And then I'm going to be, my next job, I'll be working in Dallas, Texas at the African American Theater of Arts and Letters. And I'll be doing a couple of shows there. So I mix it up. I do, some of my stuff, some R&B stuff, and I do jazz, and I just mix it up. I just like to, it's just to be entertaining, and to also, as a singer, stylist, to execute what I do well so that people can feel it, you know what I mean? They feel it, and they enjoy it.
So it's safe to say you're not planning on slowing down anytime soon, huh?
Not really, as long as I have my voice, my chops. And as long as I'm healthy and breathing and alive and well and living in L.A.
Oh, tell the truth, tell the truth. Now, a couple months ago you had the release of your Frida candy bar.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a scrumptious candy bar. If you all haven't got a chance to get one, grab one. It won't break your face out. You enjoy some great chocolate. Now, which one is your favorite of your 2 candy bars?
Well, I think at first it was like dark chocolate and white chocolate with caramel and mini marshmallows. And then they made one with milk chocolate and white chocolate, and with the mini marshmallows and the caramel. And at first I thought I liked the dark chocolate and the white chocolate combined, but then I kind of think maybe I like the milk chocolate. Yeah.
It's a great candy bar. It tastes absolutely scrumptious. Here we have it right here, the 2 Frida candy bars.
These are my 2 candy bars, everybody.
Now, where can they purchase your candy bar?
Oh, you can purchase it at Sweets in Hollywood, California, located on Hollywood Boulevard.
Exactly.
It's called the Sweets Candy Store. It's like it's like a candy store, like department store.
It's like a Toys R Us candy store.
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
Absolutely. Now, Frida, you always have a catchphrase about your candy bars. Tell everybody back home what's the catchphrase about Frida candy bars?
Catchphrase? Oh no! Come on.
Have a little taste of Frida. How do you say it?
I said, eat a little piece of Frida.
Frida, thanks for stopping by the Sherard Show. Don't get you in trouble. Thanks for stopping by the Sherard Show, Frida. She's just so busy. Now, Frida, what is your Facebook page so that we can all be able to be your fans, see what you got going, touring dates and everything?
Yeah, I've got Facebook. You can let's say hit me up on Facebook and Twitter as well. So, yeah.
What is she drinking, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that face. Frida Payne on the Sherard Show. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, having a fabulous time this evening at Amoeba Music in West Hollywood. And we've had Frida Payne on the show. We had the legendary Miss Mary Wilson. And then we have a very, very special guest as well, sitting to my right. This lady's a legend in the music industry. She's written hits for many, many years. She's part of the disco scene and the disco divas getting down. And she was singing and performing wonderfully tonight. And she's here to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Linda Gifford to the Sherard Show this evening. How are you, Linda?
I'm fine. How are you? And it's Clifford. Don't forget that L in there.
Let's get this right. How are
Get
you?
this straight. I'm great. It's so
Good.
nice to see you.
Likewise, you look absolutely fabulous. I hope you get a close-up of this beautiful hair. Now, it's all natural, but how long did it take you to get it sparkling like you have?
You know, I'll tell you, it's very difficult to keep my roots done. And so it takes some time. You know, it takes a lot of work when it's this long. It really does.
Well, you make it look easy. You know
Well,
that?
Thank you, darling.
Now, Ms. Clifford, I'm so excited having you on the show. You've been in the industry for many, many years. You've seen a lot of ups and downs in the industry. But how have you been able to stay so long and so relevant in the industry?
Well, that's a great question. I think that, first of all, I try to do music that everyone can relate to. I don't necessarily work with just one group of people or towards one group of people. I like good music, and I like all kinds of music. So I try to do things that everyone can groove to. So, you know, that's an old word, groove. Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's, for those who really know great music, they know how to really groove. Now, you got into the music scene, is it back in the late 50s or early 60s?
Oh, Lord, not in the 50s. Come on now. It was, it was back in the day, but quite honestly, I started recording late 60s, and I was still just a teenager, a very young teenager, but I was performing from the age of 4 years old.
Wow,
Yeah.
looking around.
So
Now you're from Chicago, so I'm going to say something before I go to the next question. You know Herb Kent, correct?
I do.
And
the
you
smooth gents.
And you were on his show before, correct?
Absolutely.
I remember him. I remember you were in the studio for the Battle of the Best. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's right. Herb and I were doing that battle. I can't remember who it was between, but you know, Herb always manages to win at the last minute. He cheats.
You were telling him he was cheating.
He is so mean. He cheated, yes, but I love him anyway.
Yeah, he's absolutely fabulous. And you know, one thing about him that was amazing is that he gave so many artists such as yourself their big break because he was playing your records, the B-side or the A-side when nobody else was playing. Is that correct?
That is absolutely true. Herb is the master of finding a hit song, whether it's on the B-side, the A-side, upside down. He can find it, and he will play it for you. He's wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful. Now you thought I didn't know that about
No,
that.
that's great.
That's pretty awesome. But now also, what was the era, would you say, that was most fitting or what you enjoyed the most in terms of the music era? You were in the disco era, in the Motown era, the doo-wop era. What era would you say captivates your mind the most?
You know, honestly, I've always leaned a little bit more towards the jazz thing. So even music that was created even before I was born, there was something in it, in the chords and the melody of a lot of that music that you don't hear anymore. You don't get that from a box, you know, when back in the day when people used live musicians, you know, and you had all the cats around playing real instruments, not something coming out of the board. It made a difference.
Absolutely. Now,
Yeah.
you know, when you fire up that old 45, that LP,
Hey,
it has a sound, that a CD can't capture, don't you think?
I agree with you. And you know, the whole CD thing was cool, and it was very convenient, you know, for a while. But so were 8 tracks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They all served their purpose, and everything worked for a while. But nothing could catch or capture that flavor and that sound of true vinyl.
Absolutely. You don't even that is an old school word, vinyl.
Yeah, y'all.
People hearing about vinyl. What are you talking about, some vinyl?
What's a vinyl?
I had an uncle named Vinyl.
Right?
So now, Linda, what is it that you have coming up now for the fans? I know you've been working on a lot of material, you've been touring. So what do you have upcoming that we newcomers can check out?
Well, first of all, you can certainly check out a wonderful dance song that I recorded with Evelyn Champagne King and Miss Martha Wash. It's called Show Some Love. It is an incredible song. It was number 5 in Billboard, so it made it to number 5, which is awesome. I'm in the middle of writing right now with Cher's musical advisor and band leader. I'm writing something, and I might record before I leave to go home, so things are a little hectic. But I'm keeping busy. We're touring. We're about to start touring in Europe. So, I'm trying to stay young and vibrant and active.
You see how young and how beautiful this lady is. She's just making it seem so good. Somebody, what are they putting in your water?
Child, you got to drink them vitamins. You got to drink them vitamins.
Linda, thank you for stopping by the Sherard Show. Absolutely wonderful performance. If you missed it, you missed a treat. Where can they be able to keep tabs of you and kind of be a fan of yours, Linda?
Well, you can go to my website, certainly at thelindaclifford.com, THE, lindaclifford.com. You can also catch me on Facebook, of course, and Twitter. All my Facebook fans were out there tonight. I'm so happy to see you guys. That was awesome. And, just keep your eye out, keep watching, and we may be in your town. You just never know.
That's Linda Clifford, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sherard Show. When we come back, we're going to have our closing thoughts right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful, wonderful time tonight at the Amoeba Music Studio right here in West Hollywood. We had some of the most beautiful, legendary women you've ever want to see. We had Frida Payne. We had the legendary Mary Wilson, and then we had the wonderful, wonderful Linda Clifford stop by the show. She's from Chi-Town, ladies and gentlemen. And now, it's time to close, get ready to go home, but you definitely don't want to miss our next episode when we are in Beverly Hills, and we're going to have a very, very special guest to stop by on the show. You definitely don't want to miss that. Follow me on at The Sherard Show at Twitter, or you can also follow me at The Sherard Show at Facebook.com. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay blessed. Don't eat too much turkey, ladies and gentlemen, and see you next week.